Today, I've got South Sydney Live Wire with me, Damien Cook. How's it going?
Sauce, I've missed you. How are you, mate?
Mate, I miss you too. Tell me how that Wiggles song come about.
That's probably one of the highlights of my career at the moment.
Recent news, obviously, Peter re-signed for a further 3 years. He's dubbed as your successor. Does that put a bit of pressure on yourself, or does that motivate you to kind of retain that jersey? What was your relationship with Des?
It was a funny one. He used to love watching you under the high ball.
Why is that?
I just remember running back going, fuck, is he going to catch it or not?
Do you believe last year when Sam got sacked, particularly with all the pressure on your shoulders as a team, do you think it was a bit of a distraction?
Who would have thought, You're going to ask a controversial question. Who would have thought? Yeah.
Can you not stare in my eyes while you just flick that with the lights like that? Hey everyone, welcome back. Episode 15 to Let's Trot. And today I've got South Sydney Live Wire with me, Damien Cook. How's it going?
Sauce, I've missed you. How are you, mate?
Mate, I miss you too. Just make yourself at home, take your shoes off, get comfortable.
I have, yeah. How's life after footy?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's only been 3 or 4 months, so I haven't really hasn't really sunk in just yet. But
Yeah.
I'm sure when the season starts,
You'll start to miss a little bit?
yeah, I think so. Oh man, it's all I've known for 23 years. Playing footy since the age of 10. But
Yeah.
you know what? I was actually scared to actually put it out there initially, but now that it's all done, it feels like there's a bit of a weight off my chest, and
Yeah.
I can move on to the next. And I guess the best thing is that I get to spend more time with my family, and yeah, obviously I'll miss the camaraderie, the banter with the boys, particularly with you.
You'd think I was the host hosting you the way you're talking.
Oh yeah, well you know what? You might as well run the show. So go.
No.
Take the lead.
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh, what's been happening? How's pre-season been?
No, it's been good. Been a real solid pre-season before Christmas. Been a long pre-season. That's what happens when you don't make finals. So
Well, it's been a while.
it's been a while for us, yeah. So we've been up for a long time with no end result, I guess. So,
Yep.
But the good thing is we got a full pre-season, good 5-6 weeks in before Christmas. Come back straight into an army camp, which is always a giggle, as you know.
After Christmas.
Yeah, after Christmas, and then now got sort of a new block of training before we head to Vegas. So we're starting to get a lot more football at training now, which is much better. Less just running up and down the field. So no, we're going well.
Speaking of Vegas, is there much hype around it? Much chat around the boys and what you guys are going to get up to over there?
It started to pick up in the last since we got back from Christmas. I think.
Yeah.
I think before Christmas, no one really wanted to talk about it, but now it's actually just around the corner. I think Jai's starting to organise some tours for after the game. He's been there once, so he thinks he's the king of Vegas. So, but they didn't even know he was there. So, and other than that, it should be really good. Like we get about 8 days in San Diego as well. I've never been there, so
Whereabouts is San Diego? Is that more LA?
just south of LA.
South of LA, yeah.
Yeah,
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, on the way to Mexico. Yeah.
How good's that?
So that'll be pretty cool, and it'll be hard to sort of get that balance when you first get there. There'll be a lot of excitement, I guess. A lot of boys probably haven't been overseas or been to America, so it'll be all new to them. So we've got a good little training camp that leading into the first week, taking it fairly easy, giving some boys some free time to get that out of their system, and then probably 8 days out, 7 days out, it's when we really switch on and get ready for that round one against Manly. But that's going to be pretty special to go over there to Vegas. Like you think of some of the biggest sporting events in the world. Super Bowl's going to be there the week before, which is pretty cool. So no, we're very lucky to get over there, mate.
Well, there's a few things happening. You've got Floyd Mayweather versus John Gotti as well. Pretty sure you got the UFC, and the Super Bowl's going to be in the same stadium where you guys are going to play, which is going to be unbelievable. Do you watch NFL much? Do you go to a team?
I'm the Eagles fan, and I've they went well this year. They overachieved this year. I used to follow it massive when I was back at the Dogs. Since I've been at South, sort of dropped off a little bit, but I still keep an eye on them, how they're going. But yeah, like you said, Super Bowl, one of the biggest sporting events ever that everyone watches. Everyone thinks they're experts on Super Bowl day, as you always carry on about.
Well, everyone thinks they're an NRL expert as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are, aren't they? So I think that's going to be pretty cool to know that they're there a week before, and like you said, all those other sporting events as well. So no, pretty special.
I'm sure you're going to have some leisure time when you get over there. Can we expect any coffee shouts from yourself?
Of course, always. I'm actually, I am.
What's your subject? I know, like you don't really, you don't like really sticking your hand in the pocket with the boys. It's a known thing.
I've got a bad rap for that, which I don't know where it comes from. and actually started from Greg Inglis as well. Another one started from Greg. And he was actually the biggest tight ass.
He is a big tight ass.
And then I won't name the next person because he's got everyone loves him. So I won't name who the real tight ass is at the moment.
Oh, what should I name?
And it's not AJ. AJ can be generous to the right people.
Yeah.
He's got a give and take there.
So who you reckon comes in second?
No, AJ's not first. There's someone else above it. I just can't say it.
I was saying you're first, but
No, I am not. So I won't mention his name, who it is. So
well, speaking of AJ, you just reminded me. Tell me how that Wiggles song come about.
It was great. That's probably one of the highlights of my career at the moment. You think about how much Wiggles you watched. You would have watched Wiggles.
Love Wiggles, yeah.
Very much our age group, isn't it? And
iconic.
We took our kids to the shows. I started taking Willow to a couple of shows. Yep. Got to know Anthony, who's been great. The rest of the Wiggles have been awesome. Every time we're there, we're lucky to get to go and say hello. And then AJ, once he had Sonny, they started going to the Wiggles as well. And then one thing that led to another. Nick, one of the guys who works there, is a big South fan as well, and just asked if we would.
Which one was Nick?
No, not on the.
Oh, just a producer.
Yeah. And he just asked if we would, do the Christmas special. And Tommy, AJ, and myself jumped at it straight away. They were like, we would love to do it. So we went in there to the studios at, where are they at? Bella Vista.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then mate, spent the whole day there. It was that cool it was quite funny because when we were in the studio doing it, Tommy took control. Like obviously he was sweet. He fitted right in. Me and AJ a little bit nervous, but after a couple of goes, we were like wanted to perfect it. So we wanted another go, and they were just like, "No, it's sweet, it's perfect." So, but just the better thing that day was actually just watching all the kids, and for me especially Willow and Jagger, just on the set, sitting in the big red car with Sahai and Lucia, and just hanging out with the Wiggles all day. That was special to watch, and something that Willow doesn't understand how lucky she's been to meet the Wiggles that many times. She just thinks it's normal that we hang out with them. So hopefully one day she'll look back on that and go, "Oh, that was pretty cool."
I thought it was pretty cool. So,
plus we nailed it too. Like we're massive in Canada apparently.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's where I think we're mainly meant to go for their TV show over there. But obviously YouTube over here. They got a few hits on the TV at home as well. So
did any of the boys give you shit?
I don't think they could because of how good it was. I think they wanted to. And like even I had some people in the street like come up to me and go, "Oh, how'd you get roped into that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like I like jumped at the opportunity. Yeah. Like I've been on stage with the Wiggles. What have you done? So, you know what I mean? Like some people try to give me shit for going on the Wiggles show and dressing up as an elf. Like it suited me perfectly.
Why is that?
My height, all right? I'll bring it up. And it was even better that Tommy was dressed as an elf as well. That was skin tight, that outfit. Hilarious. So mate, it was a great day, and they've been outstanding to us. Yeah.
You boys definitely nailed it. Recent news, obviously, Peter re-signed for a further 3 years. He's doubled as your successor. Does that put a bit of pressure on yourself, or does that motivate you to kind of retain that jersey?
I think it's both, and I think it's really good. And Peter, I always say to people that, he just wants the same dreams as goals that I've had, that I have as well. So I can't but hope the best for him, and I love training alongside him. And because he's young, fit, he's training really well, he plays really good. They won the New South Wales Cup last year. It's a great test for me to make sure that I keep improving as a player as well. So it pushes me to reach my goals as well and be better for the team. And I think that's important to have someone pushing you along. Healthy competition's always been good for me, and it's something that I liked because it's always going to. I feel like I motivate myself really well to train hard and do all those things. But to have that competition there, it's definitely definitely helps me.
Don't get
keep me going.
Comfortable, really.
You don't want to get comfortable. You get comfortable, you start just you never know. You might not notice it, but things might just start to drop off and how you do things. So it's really good. Our whole reserve grade side last year, I'd like to think them winning the comp has pushed the standard up of training this year for sure.
Without a doubt.
With how well they're playing. So having someone like Pete there, and he deserves that new contract he got. And I've always said to him, I want to play for as long as I can, but I can't wait to see him, you know, go on and do great things straight after me. So
Love that.
with South, I feel like that when I've gotten the number 9 jersey, I've put it in a really good position. I'll continue to put it in a great position for him to take over, and he'll do the same from there. So I'm very happy for him. And but like I said, that competition is going to be really good for me and keep pushing me along to want to be better as well.
Love that. With that training, I should say, is there been a bit of chop and change between you two? Do you still see yourself as an 80-minute hooker, or do you think Pete will come on the bench and maybe come in for like a 20-minute, 30-minute stint?
I think definitely throughout the year you might see some different options. I still think, with the way I'm training, everything I'm doing, I'm feeling really good.
Nice.
And that's the role I like is 80 minutes to play that game. But it's always about what's best for the team as well. So if there's other ways, I remember there was a game last year, the Warriors game. Saliva started the first 15, 20 minutes, and I come on and finish the game through the origin period as well. So, I think this year it's, sometimes if you need to, you got to, put your ego aside of what you like to do and do what's best for the team. And I still plan on going to another level from last year, playing really good footy, looking at 80 minutes. But if things have to be done different, that's how you do it. Because everyone's got to buy into the same thing of whatever it's going to take this year to win the premiership. Because I feel like this year with the likes of Jack coming in, Kepi coming in, not making finals last year is a really good freshen up that we're setting ourselves up for a real good opportunity this year.
I love that. It's never been easy for you, particularly your time at the Dogs. You've always had to fight hard and try to get a spot and crack into the team. That short stint at the Dogs, how important was that for you? And was that like laying down the platform for your career, you think?
I loved my time at the Dogs, and to be honest, I got there on a favour of friends, so Jimmy Dimmick and Shane Millard, good friends, and Shane will never admit this, but I'm pretty sure my time at the Dragons wasn't. They wanted to re-sign me, but they didn't. They didn't know what position because I was playing fullback at the time, but they wanted me at hooker, so it was a bit weird there. But I know Shane for some reason. I don't know how I know, but I know he would have rang Jimmy Dimmick and just asked him to pretty much just give me an opportunity up at the Dogs. So I got sent up there as a fullback, I thought, and then Desi pretty much said, "Oh, I've seen you play fullback, so let's just train you at hooker." So that's why I've been stuck at hooker ever since, in the middle of the field. It's been great.
Perfect.
Body feels great. But that time there, Mick Ennis was there. I knew I was never going to overtake him at the time, so I was all about just learning from him. But the pack and the people we had in that team, it was a great learning experience for me for what it takes to be a professional athlete and what standard you need to be at. Because the Dogs were flying those few years there. We beat one of the years at the grand final, then the prelims the next year.
Yep.
So being around that environment, and also playing reserve grade there those 2 years, I felt like that's been really important in my journey. Obviously, I wasn't ready straight out of 20s. Wasn't one of those players that just took off from 20s and jumped straight into first grade. I feel like playing reserve grade for those few years at Cutters, but most importantly, the Bulldogs sort of made me the player I am today, and sort of it was a great stepping stone for me moving forward to South as well.
What was your relationship with Des?
Desi, it was a funny one. He's
What's he like?
He's
I've never got to
interesting man. He's a very smart man as well. Definitely interesting. So, but you could sort of tell when he was sort of looking at you to possibly play that week, because he'd want to shoulder charge you in the hallways, just looking at you, try and chat to you and stuff like that. So that's when you're like, oh, I might be on here. So that's because sometimes he might not give you much at all.
Yeah.
But then sometimes when he's sort of interacting with you a little bit, you're like, oh, I might be on here. He's noticed me. So I'll see how I go.
I remember that particular story. I don't know if it was his time at Manly or Bulldogs, but he wanted a specific player to toughen up, and he asked him to run straight at him, and pretty much singled him out. And he's like, "What? No!" And he's like, "Run as hard as you can at me now." And he pretty much flattered theirs, and he goes, "That's how I want you to run." Don't know if that's GST, but that's what I heard.
We used to blow up at training sometimes because, when you're the reserve grade side, you have to sort of let the first grade side get their confidence up,
Sort of, yeah, at a certain degree.
Yeah, in a way, just play a little bit earlier, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Dimmick used to be hilarious in fuck these guys, let's beat them, we'd run certain plays, little trick plays, and Desi would blow up and like, run the fucking play, and Dimmy would be like, yeah, sorry, Des, and then turn around to the huddle and go, fuck yeah, boys, well done. So it probably caused him a bit of stress there at the time, but mate, a good reserve grade side makes a good first grade side, mate. So
I agree. Do you think it's a bit of a bad rap on Des, particularly his last couple of years at the Bulldogs? Because I think he's been, a finger pointed for the blame for most of the kind of salary cap issues and, the recruitment drive that he'd done there in the last couple of years. And you think it's fair?
mate, he's just the coach.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people else there as well, and a coach like him also is a big reason why those players want to go to that club as well. So you can't we just point the finger at one person there.
One particular great of the Bulldogs came out and said that they're absolutely kicking themselves by letting you go, Steve Mortimer. I don't know if you recall that, but do you feel like you leaving the Dogs was actually a blessing in disguise for yourself personally?
Yeah, looking back, obviously now, like some great things have happened since I've left the Dogs, and I never actually wanted to leave there. I was having a lot of fun, really enjoyed the environment there, the guys we had there, Cassiano, Frank Pritchard, those type of guys, Grubby, they were awesome to be around. It just came down to a thing where it looked like there was going to be a better opportunity for me to go to South and have a crack at that starting role, because Leisha was playing some really good footy and played well that year before as well until he got injured. But he was doing everything right where he deserved his spot back at the next year. So it all came down to a little bit of money as well, because it was pretty much training, sort of minimum wage training, and then the other one at South was an extra year and a bit more as well. So that came into play as well.
Yep.
But more the opportunity to go there, and Isaac Luke had moved on and stuff like that. So it was a good opportunity to try and jump at that 9 spot.
Perfect timing. So within 3 years as well, you obviously played New South Wales, you played for Australia, and you're pretty much with a successful South Sydney outfit. What stands out for you in those 3 years for you to reach that top of your game?
Definitely the players that I've come up against to train against. I think to keep pushing me along the way as well. Like I'm always motivated to keep getting better. But going to South, there was a big battle there with Cam McInnes as well, and he's a great trainer, great player. So it was
similar to you.
A lot of competition there. So really had to fight for that spot, and there was a bit of chopping and changing. 16 and 17, we didn't make finals either, so it was a lot of learning experiences there, and all that sort of stuff. But then I think when 18 happened, obviously 17 I had the battle with Robbie as well, and then when 18 come, I think just Steve's coming in, giving that opportunity and that backing to, that the number 9's yours, and I just don't think I'm not going to drop you the week after. I want you to, he sort of gave me a lot of confidence that I go out there and be the player I wanted to be. Yeah, and then actually settle in and play a few games in a row. Because that's where, I think some players don't get that opportunity. They have one game and they might not do too well. So coaches might not give them that chance again. But you actually need a few games in a row to really settle into your role, those combos in a game scenario. So I was lucky that I had that backing of Siebes, and obviously a great side around me to allow me to do my thing.
Yeah, I've always been big on that. Like I never understood like a player just play 1 or 2 games and then if he has like a mediocre game, it gets dropped back to reserve grade. It just didn't make sense to me because obviously it takes time to develop your own game. It takes time to develop with your teammates, build chemistry, cohesion. You can't just do that over 2 weeks playing together. So
I still remember like Rennie Mature, he was playing reserve grade when he come back to the Dogs, and he'll tell you he probably wasn't playing the best in reserve grade, but he'd played first grade his whole life. So he sort of spoke to Des and said, he was trying to obviously get back in the first grade side. I'm pretty sure I got the story right, but he went and seen Desi and he says, I need to play first grade because that's where, I know the combinations, I know everyone there.
Intensity.
Yeah, and how it all goes. That's all he's known. So when he got back into that side, I still remember I think he was getting like player like every second week because of just what it was like. And that's just another example of guys needing few games in that environment when you're swapping and changing, how you're meant to get any, combinations or confidence in your game as well.
It could also be detrimental to a player's career because obviously getting dropped back to reserve grade,
it
could be a reality check or it could be just like a drop of confidence.
Yeah.
Like it could go either way. So it's really an experiment, really.
As we both know over our careers.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes. The last couple of years of my career, unfortunately. But
I used to love watching you under the high ball
we're at.
everywhere.
Why is that?
Because we'd make our tackles. I'd turn around, this big bomb would go up from maybe Burto or Nate or something like that, and just.
I never dropped any bombs from Burto.
No, you didn't.
It was only one game. When you think about it, it was only one game that I dropped the bombs, and that was against Penrith.
It wasn't. Yeah, bad time to do that.
Very.
Yeah. No, but also you caught everything. But it was just how stressed you were under the high ball sometimes.
Oh, please. Burto's got the biggest kick in the game, so why would I be stressed?
It might have been Renault as well, but like I just remember running back going, fuck, is he going to catch it or not? You always did. But that adrenaline rush.
Please tell me you're joking.
I'm not.
I hate you so much. Why is this the first you've ever told me this? Anyway.
One of the laughs on the field when I look back at the game. During the game, I was like, fuck, we're going to have to do another set of 6 here of D. But no, hey, you always caught him. Always
proved you wrong.
Exactly.
Which I've done my whole career.
Except for that game. First game against Penrith, great time.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. And remind me, please. I've already put that at the back of my mind. Back to you. We briefly touched on who was the biggest fan of you at Souths. You said Siebes was the one that initially gave you your first crack. Was there anyone else that really believed in you?
At Souths?
Correct.
I'd like to hope so.
Well, who helped you just really get to that first grade position? You obviously said Siebes.
I think Sutto and Clarkey are always good ones that I have little conversations with, and even still do now. I'm lucky enough to have them both there. But Clarkey was someone who would be going through the same scenario as me. It was either me or him getting dropped each week. We'd be beaten by 30 points, and for some reason it was one of us on the bench that would get dropped in 16, 17. But
didn't make sense.
Our 15 minutes was causing the issues. But yeah, looking back now, just that support of and Cody's another one. Cody, having him since the day I walked into training. I think just I know how he won't say it much, but I know I've got his support and backing. He knows the good combination we have and stuff like that, and the bond we have on the field. So, Sutto, Clarkey, and on the field Cody as well. So,
well, you and Cody developed really early in the first couple of years. Like I remember you scooting out and. Yeah. Cody just had that footy awareness just to kind of hit a short ball off you, he just had that awareness when you were going to make a line break. He was always there to support you. Wasn't the fullback, it was always him.
Yeah.
I feel like that relationship has developed a lot over time, and not only like your relationship with him, but even Cody's game.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was someone that was overlooked early stage of his career, and now did that surprise you of his development?
He's the way, especially I can just explain it this year how he's controlling the team and he's. Mature as a 5'8", almost a half. Just run the team at the moment. His kicking game's looking great at the moment. Training, his calmness on the field, just guiding them around, has been really good. He's doing a lot of coaching too, just breaking it down for other players. So he's building those little combinations of everyone on the field. So it doesn't surprise me because I know how hard he sort of works. But like you said, that combination that we've had since sort of happened sort of straight away, I feel. But I've seen some great clips where not so the part where I take off and run, but it's actually watching what he does. He just knows when I'm going to go, and he knows where to be as well. So sometimes I hit him in a short ball and he gets whacked, and I'm sort of sorry. As he's getting tackled.
Had him sprayed you, as he's getting up, and ripping you dirty.
Yeah, but and the next one he's going through and he's scoring. So it's sometimes I don't get it right, but he's always there. So he makes me look good sometimes.
One question I want to ask is what do you believe that separated you from all those hookers coming through? You're obviously one of the most professional coming through. You always like to take your game to a certain standard, even at training. Do you feel like that's kind of what really put the light on you and showed the coaches that I'm ready for this opportunity?
Yeah, one thing I try and try to get my body ready for, and it was something that stood out to me in 18 and 19, and something I'm trying to talking to high performance guys at team at the moment, just trying to get repeat speed back and just being ready to go all the time. So game fitness for 80 minutes, but if you have a good run, being ready to go on the next opportunity, I think that's what 18 was like. I was just ready to get, my body was ready to go all the time and just could have it effort after effort. And I feel like this year, having the longer preseason, which, blessing in disguise to not making finals, is getting your body back to good condition going into the season with having a really good preseason under your belt, because there's been a lot of years where come back in January, there was COVID, come back late January, if there's representative stuff at the end of the year. So you're going off 4 weeks preseason into the season. So you're sort of trying to play catch up with everything, your strength, your power, your speed, your endurance. So I think this year I'm really happy where my body's at the moment. And if I was probably a difference, may have been that sort of repeat speed that I had from training. But all the hookers train hard, because to be in the middle for that long,
hard job.
It's a tough job, especially the smaller bodies with the way that these front rowers are now. They're not just big and running straight. They've got footwork, speed. They're athletes.
Taking a carry, coming out of yard. It's just a hard job too.
Something you were great at. That's you're great.
We all got our own hard kind of
we do
traits.
We do. And actually, one of the coaches the other day, I won't name which one, said actually we're spraying the wingers for you got the easiest job of the field. At least count the tackles. Like Wayne used to love wingers. Yeah. Remember Corey Allen's social loathing? Is that what he used to call him out there?
Who? Sorry,
Corey Allen. Wayne used to.
I wasn't there. Yeah, I come when he left.
Yeah.
So what was that? What was that about?
I think he was just more like he was almost in the crowd. He reckons like.
Well, Corey's actually very quiet himself, isn't he?
Yeah, funny, but yeah, I lost where we were.
Yeah. Well, you're bagging wingers, saying that would.
I don't bag wingers. No, someone else did, but I'm on the back of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have cracked a few jokes from time to time about maybe.
Well, you don't help that cause.
Why is that?
Well, I just spoke about before.
Oh, well, good on you. Back to my question.
I don't even know what the question was.
Back to my question. I'll bring us back.
Yeah.
Were you dubbed as Mr. Professional? Was that your nickname at the Dogs?
Semi-parrot, yeah. How did you know that?
I've got my sources.
Your sources.
You like that one?
Josh Mann sources.
You like that one?
You do, yeah. Good one. Yeah, I did have that, which was sort of a good thing. Good to know that, like, and if you look at South boys now, you'd look at the likes of, like, Junior and Cam are like that as well, Campbell Graham. But it's good to know that someone like Semi-parrot, player like him and everything's done, he noticed those little things for me. So it's good to know that I was on the right path of doing the right things off the field to give you the best chance on it.
I want to ask you a bit of a tough question. I'm sure you'll be happy to answer it. What was the difference between that 2021 Souths team compared to last year's, you feel?
It got to a point last year, and it was like almost like the harder we tried, the worse it got.
Hole got. Yeah.
And then turned into everyone sort of trying their best to try and fix it themselves. So we just lost a bit of our process and what we're about, and through that just builds a bit of frustration. Things don't go your way on the field, and I think this is one thing after another. But for a playing group, that's exactly what it was like. It was like the harder we trying at these things and things aren't going right, it just builds up. So I like to hope that we look at that similar to the Broncos the year before last, where they were in the grand final last year, but the year before they just dropped completely out of the finals. So hopefully this reset can sort of be, and the good preseason we have, a couple of new fresh faces in there as well, can really just sort of kickstart us again this year, because like on paper, everyone fit. That's a big thing. Keep everyone fit on the field. We've got a great chance to win this comp. And that was another thing last year, and you don't want to make excuses, but a lot of key injuries and a lot of time spent on the sidelines of players that people wouldn't probably realise, but someone like Jai Arrow missing for so long is a massive loss in the middle of the
big
field.
Time. He does all the dirty stuff, right?
Yeah. You don't notice it, but he's one of the best in the middle. That when you run out alongside Jai, you know he's got your back. You've got your back.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say the difference is between Wayne Bennett and JD?
One stays awake during meetings.
I love that. I love that.
There's JD actually tells a funny story. I don't know how it actually goes, but like about Wayne falling asleep at army camp or something. But apparently, like one of the young boys got up to talk about his wine or whatever it was, and he was asleep. And JD he finally woke up and he goes, "How long was I asleep for?" He's like, "A couple of hours." He goes, "When you wake me?" He goes, "Oh, like I said, wake me if I'm snoring." He goes, "You weren't snoring." So, but Wayne, very obviously experienced as a coach. Had people like JD and stuff around him to do a lot of the coaching. Wayne could sit there and mentor the players and get them ready for games. He's sat back a lot more. I don't know how he was obviously earlier in his career. But individually he would just talk to the players well, bring him aside. You'd walk out of a meeting with him. With Wayne as well, like just sure of what your role was and stuff like that. Same with JD. JD puts a lot of confidence. They have a lot of similarities actually, and because JD spent some time under him, I think that's why. But right now at the moment, you're seeing a lot of hands-on from JD and right amongst it. His knees and ankles won't allow him to fill in for injuries anymore. But other than that, he's a really smart coach, breaks everything down, and he's just process-driven, which is we're just got to make sure we all buy into that and what he's doing because definitely think it's got to work, and it was working last year, and it just broke away a bit. So we've got to be much better at being able to do that for the whole year because that's why Penrith have gone so well is because they continually do the same thing over and over again year after year. Yeah. So a lot of what they do on the field, going away from the question, but it's just it's quite basic, a lot of it, but they keep it nice and simple, but they're ready to go when the opportunity comes. So. And that's why they've won 3 in a row now. So, but back to the coaches, there's a lot of similarities. JD's a lot more hands-on, and Wayne sort of sat back a little bit more, done his work in the backgrounds, I guess.
That's what surprised me about Wayne when it first came. So obviously I was naturally a bit nervous, and he's obviously got this aura about him. He's a super coach and whatnot. And I was surprised that he didn't really have too much of an input on the way we played, but more on the side of, like you said, game, like player management individually. And I think that's one of his strongest attributes is just to know when a player needs to be talked to or needs to be pumped up. But yeah, it was mostly driven by the assistant coaches, which surprised me.
Yeah. And I've got a good relationship with JD, so I feel like I get that those conversations with him as well that I used to get with Wayne. And so like he go into his office, you'll walk away with what he wants. And I think that's all players need. It's to believe in them and just give them exactly what you want from them, and it's up to them to go out and get it done. But I get a lot of clarity when sometimes you get a lot of voices in your head from different people, different coaches. You go into coaches and you just got to know to just listen straight to them what they want, and you walk out much better. And with both of those coaches, you get that. So a lot of similarities, but a few little differences as well.
I love that as well, especially when you're thinking about more of the process. You're not focusing on yourself, you're focusing on what's best for the team. And that's what it's all about, right? You're getting everyone on the same page for a common cause, and it gets rid of all that disjointness and, thinking about yourself, how you're feeling in the game, like just gives you direction, I guess.
Yeah. And that's what happened in, go back to like 18 and 19. And for me individually as a year, it was great. A lot of runs, all that sort of stuff. But you look back now, that wasn't the best thing for the team. That's not going to win a comp because we had 2 options. We either, if we played the ball I was going, or we had a shape from the zone, like out in the scrum line area, and that was our two big things. And it's easy to pick off and control that. So you got to be a threat right across the park. So for me, the biggest thing I've had to learn over the last couple of years is making sure getting the balance right between when to run and to run for myself, but also then when the run may be there, but the opportunity to score is out there. So that's the biggest balance. And
it's not easy.
It's easy to just run. It's easy to just pick up the ball and run. But is that going to win your games? Probably not so much, because especially since the one ref's come in now, you can get away with a little bit more at markers. They can't watch everything.
No.
So a lot of things a lot messier around the middle of the field. So it's all about having that right balance of when to go, or to hold back from that run and play to the halves and let them do the thing.
Do you believe last year when Sam got sacked, particularly with all the pressure on your shoulders as a team, do you think it was a bit of a distraction going into that game?
No, not really. It came at the right time with a bye. Who would have thought, you're going to ask a controversial question? Who would have thought? Josh Mansell. Straight to it. You've been softening me up. Nice little questions.
I want to know.
What a journey.
I want to know. Like it's everyone wants to know.
No, it came in a good time because we had the bye that week. But really, like I said before, as a playing group, we also focused on the coaching. You know, the coaching had been done through the year. We knew what needed to be done. We'll track them well, and we'll train them well. But for some reason on the field, like I said before, we lost the process of as a team, and you know, you go down a couple of scoreboard pressure for us last year was a big thing. You know, we go down on the scoreboard and we start to stress a little bit. So, and then obviously individuals try and solve it ourselves, and which you think you're doing the right thing at the time.
Good intentions.
Yeah, good intentions, but then obviously it just fell apart. And the harder we tried, the harder everyone tried, the worse it got. So, as a distraction, we're more like just what the hell's going on and get it done and move on. So like,
so you focus on the game.
Yeah, so just get it out of the way. So we're lucky that there was good timing with the bye that week.
Yeah, far right. Talk about good timing.
Yeah.
Thanks for answering that. I know it was a bit of a tough question for yourself.
No,
you look a bit nervous now.
I love how you just set me up and just. No, I expect nothing less from you.
Oh, that is a lie. Yeah. I've always looked after you, especially when I'm shouting you coffee. But anyway, next to
give yourself a wrap. You're talking about yourself on a podcast. Who would have thought you would have been so good at that? Imagine if you and Tano were on here. Who would get a word in? Honestly.
Well, we all know that you love a free pair of shoes. So
what is this all about?
Oh, mate, dig in. Our proud partner SHOEGRAB gifting you another pair of great shoes. What did you get?
Wow. Have you got these?
We'll find out. I've got a few Yeezys, but I'm not sure what colour you got.
How'd you know my size? You really do your research.
Mr. Professional.
Oh, Joshua, stop it. Thanks, mate.
I knew you'd love those.
I appreciate it, mate.
Oh, you're all right.
Thank you so much.
You like them? You got any Yeezys?
I do. I actually bought my first pair from SHOEGRAB. The what are they called? Pretty much all white. The bone.
Oh, the bones.
Yeah. Good one.
What are you wearing now?
Me. Doing some earthing.
There's a lot of concrete around here. Concrete everything.
Yeah, but concrete
everything.
Oh, you'd have a concrete backyard. Yeah?
No, I don't. I love my grass. And whoa. You know I love my grass. You've commented on my lawn before.
I have. And tomatoes? You got tomatoes, wouldn't you?
Plenty of tomatoes.
I've got tomatoes too. So,
yeah, no. You got chilies.
I do. Yeah.
Thank you, SHOEGRAB. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
SHOEGRAB.
Now for something a bit lighthearted. You know, you're pretty fit yourself. Who do you think in the NRL, top 5 beasts, machines, guys that run all day, power, anyone that stands out?
A lot of them. I'll try not to stick all at South Sydney, so I'll just maybe pick one from South.
Let's go.
Cam Murray.
In what sense? Great body.
So we got all that sort of stuff. But then how fit he is and what he can do, the way he carries the ball and the way he defends for a small guy. Like he's not much bigger than me, honestly, and he plays a way above his weight. 95, 96 was he? Yeah, I reckon it'd be something like that.
You wouldn't even think that.
There's not much of him, but he plays like he's over 100 easy. So everything he does on the field, good to be out there alongside him. Who else we got?
You know who I'd love to see in a wrestle match?
Yeah. GI
and Latrell.
Oh, massive.
Oh.
GI used to dominate wrestle.
It'll split the universe in two.
Yeah, but this is my Latrell's enough. If we want to go south again, he's a freak. What he can do, like how powerful he is. Like like we don't probably use that enough, and we can. But like the skill he has for a big man to speed.
It's not even him, but it just obviously runs in the family. Like even Shaq.
Oh, Shaq's a 5'8" in the front row's body. Like he's got great skill, and like back on the troll, like what he can do for a big man is pretty impressive.
It's like touching a
size, speed,
when you give
silky
him a hug,
hands.
When you give him a hug, it's like bloody you're hugging a concrete slab.
No, he doesn't understand how strong he is. So like when he like slaps you on the back, it's like concussion, like HIA. He doesn't understand how big he is. I seen him the other day like pick up Tommy and like drag him back into the end goal like on his own. Like, so yeah, that was one of the many things I've seen. But we'll try and get away from South. gone blank. But like, what do you want to talk like? Just overall?
Yeah, overall.
Olakau'atu looks pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
did a speed session with him.
yeah,
He can move.
yeah.
Far out.
So he's quick.
Quick, athletic.
Just
big
watching him catch
frame.
that ball last like couple of his highlights from last year. Yeah, I think he's only just getting started too. He's New South Wales, isn't he? Yeah,
I think so. I like to claim him.
That'd be good for them, for us, us.
Us, we'll wait and see.
Never
Fingers
know.
crossed.
Hopefully. And then who else we
Who
got?
would you say the quickest in the game is?
Quickest in the
It's
game.
obviously it's a massive debate.
It is.
Fox, Dom Young now hitting the scene. You got Jason Saab. I'd say Bronson Cherry. You can throw him in there. Stephen Crichton. Oh, he got ran down by DC, so they'll probably push him back.
Yeah.
Love you, critter. Who would you say out of those four? I swear there's the Hammer.
Hammer's got to be up there. The way
he looks
actually,
like he's in third gear. Like he looks like
Hammer
he's
just
jogging.
cruises,
Yeah.
and the way he can move on the field, like I think was it in the Aussie games this year, the way he just just moved into space on that long ball, like he's special what he can do on the field. He moves really well. But who's the fastest? So we've gone away from the question, but we'll go back to the fastest. Why have I gone blank on the centre from Manly?
Centre from Manly.
Yeah,
It wasn't Ruben Garrick.
No. But Ruben's quick too.
Cooler.
Yeah. He's got to be up there in the race, I think.
Definitely.
Tai.
I'm gonna go purely just because of like meters per distance. I'm gonna go Sabi. I feel like he's just like.
Yeah, I caught Saab. I ran him down. So.
Oh, when was this again?
Yeah. So he knows that. He doesn't forget.
Was this 21 or 22?
I don't know.
I think I was. Yeah, I think I played in that game. I'm pretty sure.
At Manly. He made a break.
Nah, didn't play. I don't think I was there that year. That must have been the year after.
Yeah, so I ran him down. I ran you down. He knows that. I messaged him about it.
You're
after.
pretty quick.
Yeah, I can be.
You're the fastest beach sprinter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's different. Beach flagger. Yeah, we can go back to that.
No one knew that.
No. I really don't know. Dom Young, he runs well. I think I'm going to go with the Fox.
Go to Fox.
I'll go to Fox.
We'll go to Fox. Everyone loves
Definitely to 40. I reckon Fox, he flies to the 40, I reckon. Saab needs a 100-metre race.
You know who I used to think it was lightning quick? Remember Michael Jennings?
Yeah. That
Oh,
one?
my God.
Yeah.
Top 40. Like, no one can catch him.
Who are the other ones? The Hammer. There's too many of them.
Yeah, I know.
We really do need a race, though.
I'd love to see a combine, NRL combine one day, I reckon.
They're doing one over in Vegas.
NRL combine?
Yeah, like players from over there trying to. I think Gavin Orr's doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. So isn't there an exemption for NRL clubs to sign union NFL players in the top 30? I think they're exempt from that,
Cap.
the cap, yeah? Is that true?
I don't know. Good idea, but
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mm.
Just adds more talent to the
for
pool.
1 year. Can't sign them on 10-year deals.
Yeah, no. Okay. Just moving away from rugby league for now. Obviously, the Australian Open's on. Have you been keeping a close eye on that?
Yes. Who are you going for? Djokovic, yeah. Good on you, mate. Real original.
Yeah, it's not that. I was obviously going for the Demon. Obviously fell short, but I know I'm on a bandwagon. I just admire Djokovic so much, and I know the rest of the Australian public don't really agree with this, but I just admire his confidence. I know cockiness and confidence, there's a lot of similarities with that, but I kind of like the hedge.
You'd know.
Yeah, okay. Well, you have to be confident. If you're not confident in yourself, you're not going to get
Who do you
too
reckon's
far.
beating him? Who do you reckon's beating?
It's a very hard question, man.
The Spaniard?
Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good chance.
That's who I'm going for.
Alcatraz and Zverev. I always pronounce that wrong. Zverev. He's a German, I think. I made an absolute meal of that.
Sinner?
Yep, he's good.
Oh, wait, who won last night?
There you
Sinner's
go.
a good chance, all right?
Sinner.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Sinner.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, back to the Joker. There's actually a pretty cool cut. There was back when Roger and Rafa was absolutely dominating tennis world.
Yeah.
There was a trainer, and he reckons that the top 10 of tennis players believed that they won't beat him. They won't win a slam as long as those two guys are playing. Until one guy hit the scene and publicly said, I'm going to be world champion. I'll definitely beat them one day. And you knew who that was?
Djokovic. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. There's a lot of lessons you can get out of that. We just spoke about the cockiness and confidence. And
Yeah.
the public took it as cockiness, like, oh, who does he think he is?
Yeah.
How disrespectful. You know what I mean? He's just only 19. Why would he come out and say something outlandish like that? But if you're not going to believe in yourself, there's no point in actually competing against those kind of guys in the first place. Because if you can't envision it, you're not going to achieve it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a big Roger and Rafa fan, so I always hated him winning because I never wanted their records to get beat. But you can't help but admire when he plays how good he is.
okay. So you reckon he's going to win it?
Alcatraz.
Okay, we'll go with that. You're a big fan of dad jokes, like myself?
Speaking of Joker, yeah, I like how you went Joker to Joker.
You like that?
Very, very good. Yeah,
Comes in the scripting.
yeah. So not you.
Pardon. Yeah, no, that one wasn't me. That was
Just read from the sheet, mate.
All right, hit me with your best dad joke, please.
Oh, you've written some down. Like I've had to write a couple down.
That's all right. Bring it out.
What have you got? What have you got?
What do I got? I can't reach it. I can't see from there.
I actually wrote a song.
Come on, what?
No, I wrote a song about a tortilla once. It was
what?
Tortilla. It was more of a rap.
Oh, you said that. Tortilla. Tortilla.
Sorry. I was trying to laugh.
Go. Oh my God, I just got what you just said.
Because a tortilla is a rap. Yeah, you got me? Yeah.
I just completely just did not pick on that. Pick up on that. All right. What do you call a Arab bodybuilder?
Gotta be careful, my answer here. Strong man.
A protein shake.
Oh,
You like
God.
it? No, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's absolutely hilarious. I don't know, I'm crying.
I've lost I'm nervous now. I've lost my list.
What did the ocean say to the beach?
Nothing, just waved.
Oh, I really think this is this funny.
No,
I don't think
this
anyone
guy
else-
actually, true story.
Yeah, okay.
This guy actually keeps throwing milk and yogurt at my house.
Why?
How dare he? But seriously, don't buy anything with Velcro. What's funny?
Oh.
It's a rip-off. Did you hear about the guy who dipped his testicles in glitter? Pretty nuts. One of my funniest moments on the field with you
Oh, fuck.
is we were in a real tough game and it was arm wrestle. I reckon it was going for like 15 minutes or something. And Cody,
What game was this?
can't remember who we were versing, maybe the Tigers for some reason.
Oh, yes.
Tamworth, was it? Did you play that game?
Nah.
Did we play them somewhere else?
We played them at Combank.
I don't know. It might have not been Tigers then, but I remember, or was it? But anyway. And Cody was in the middle of the field, so I don't know why he was defending in the middle of the field, but I don't know how it happened. In case or something like that. But we're defending next to each other and we were buggered, like everyone's in the washing machine. And you must have got someone stepped inside you and turned you inside out and ran around you, and all we hear is fuck like that. And I still remember in the game,
Oh,
like,
no, what was that again? What was that?
I still remember
this.
me and Cody looking at each other, just pissed ourselves laughing from what hearing you on the field. Do you remember what it was?
I think it was against Manly.
But he like went that way, then back that way.
Nah,
Wasn't
that
that?
didn't happen. No,
No, it was a different
wasn't it. It was, sorry?
That was a different
Yeah. I don't remember that part. I remember, I think it was against Manly at Central Coast. And I'll explain the situation. It was a 4-on-2.
Yeah.
Okay. 4-on-2.
4 defenders.
4 attack. And I had to hold the lead. I had to get Garrick at the back, and then I had to try and get the winger. So the process, we're talking about process, right?
As usual, you got stuck in the middle of jamming and holding. Is that
Well,
jamming when you're not meant to? And
I
holding
didn't
when you're
jam.
meant
I
to?
held on the back row. I held on the inside, and then it was 2-on-1. I held on Garrick. He tipped on, and I tried releasing to get I can't remember who was on the wing. Tulipaluatu. I'm a shocker here. I'm having an absolute shocker. Whoever the wing was at the time, and I missed him, and I think that's what it came.
Yeah, you're like, fuck. But I still just remember it was a hard game, and Cody and me just looking at each other like, did you hear that? It's like,
Real hard. We ended up winning by 50. But anyway, yeah, back to me running the show. You obviously recently Stop doing that. It's throwing me off.
it's off anyway.
Oh. You recently graduated from uni. First bloke to ever graduate from uni, mind you. What did you graduate? What degree was it?
I don't know. No, pretty much sports science.
Yeah, why does that interest you so much?
Well, something I've enjoyed over my career as well is just learning more about the body, recovery, strength, all that sort of stuff. So I feel like I started out as wanting to do PE teaching, but I think when I started uni for that, it was more the idea of the holidays I liked, not actually dealing with other people's kids and then going home to your own kids.
Yeah,
so,
it's a bit exhausting.
So trying to get a job after footy where I'm sort of involved in like high performance sort of stuff really interests me, and I think it'd be a really good transition for me to we've still been around that team environment. I think would be good because, like you spoke about before, with after footy, it is a hard transition. So I think being around that environment will be a good transition, but it's something I'm passionate about. So I'd love after footy to, hopefully it's at South, work in the strength conditioning area, and then just build my way up through there.
That's why, like, when I first announced my retirement, and which was hard for me to accept, was like a part of you dies.
Here we go. Your podcast, go on, mate.
Let me be serious for a second. I actually do believe a part of you dies because you're not able to go out there and compete on the training paddock or on the field. And like, that's why I really relished and really, really love doing. So I'm going to try and find something to compensate what I'm missing out on, if that makes sense. And for some players, it's actually hard to come to grips with. Like, we've seen some players really struggle with retirement. You know, unfortunately, some have taken their own life or tried to. Some have gone absolutely AWOL. No one knows. No one's really heard from them, and it's actually a touchy subject for some players. Do you feel like the game or there's much needed education around retirement for players?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're moving in the right direction from ticking a box with the welfare of having, years ago, like it'd be almost like you had a welfare officer, but it was just more of ticking the box that you had one. But speaking on South's behalf, like likes of Ian, was he there with you? No, Ian's come in now from overseas. We've got Jason Clark, who's part of the wellbeing team as well, who's a great one to have because he's been where we are. He's transitioning now into a new role. So I think having someone like him and the support we do at South is, they're going to make the transition a lot easier. It's still going to be hard. Like you said, I don't look forward to it. I want to play forever, like everyone does. But at some stage, it'll come to an end. But I think the things that South have got set up at the moment, with pushing courses and education on boys, getting them, a lot of the boys doing a barber course at the moment, just having some little hobby, something else to that they just don't have completely nothing by the time they finish. So I think South's doing a great job there, whether it's financial education or just general well-being, and the people they've got in, like Ian and especially Clarkey, will do us good. Give us the best chance.
Have you given yourself an end date for your playing career? Have you thought about that yet? I know it's a bit of a touchy subject.
Courtney thinks I've told her I want to play for a lot longer. So I've got this deal at the moment, which is 24-25.
Yep.
The way I'm feeling at the moment, obviously success in the next 2 years will play a big part in getting an extra year off the back of that. And obviously I understand that, they're only going to get like 1 year deals after that. So I'd like to think get through this one and at least one more year after that in the NRL. I haven't, you never know what overseas holds.
Yep.
But also weighing that up with opportunities and what's best for the family here as well becomes more important. So I'd like to stay and finish in the NRL, but I still feel like this deal and another one still to come with how I'm feeling and hopefully playing well for the next 2 years.
I love that. Speaking of off-field stuff, you got a couple of businesses that would you like to talk about?
Yeah, go for it. It's your podcast. Questions are there.
Let's go to Liqueur.
Liqueur, yeah. So that's an interesting one. When we first started out a few years ago, we've been through COVID and all that, and actually still come out the other side, which is good. But the way it went and the way the area is around there, like it was more of a beauty, was doing really well. All the skin injectables and all that sort of stuff. The recovery, not so much.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so we've did a big, I guess, facelift, if you will, of the whole place.
I was just looking at yours just to double check.
No, I haven't yet, but I need it.
I need it.
And you get some done. So
I
like,
do not. I actually find it very really? Demasculating. I could never do it.
But I've seen you get some. Your sister does it, doesn't she?
Oh, just getting rid of blackheads and acne and pimple.
Right,
no, I'm talking
it's
like
okay.
Botox.
Break down the stigma, mate. Like, you're a beautiful man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But like, now I've lost where I am. Hey,
Your skid side of the business has been
going
really well.
going that way. So it's more that sort of side of things now. So it was hard for me to buy into that because I know nothing about it. Where the recovery side of things, I could have an input.
Yep.
So I told the other guys that I was even thinking about, getting out and just letting them, just sort of letting that go, let them just go from there, do their thing. But had a good chat with them, and we've done a full, full facelift, like I said, of the place and freshened it up. So, definitely times can be tough at the moment in that sort of industry because of, how everything's going with like all the interest rates and that. No one wants to spend their extra money on that sort of stuff. So sometimes it can be quite slow, but we're going to see how it go. Great year this year
With that
plan, and then go from.
Just want to cut you off just there. You just said something that's really important. Like people don't want to really spend in helping themselves, but rather spend, like they won't hesitate buying a beer. They won't hesitate buying takeout.
Yeah, or a multi,
or a
multi,
pokey, or pokies.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually looking after themselves, like people, don't want to spend the money. Isn't that bizarre?
It is weird, yeah. So I guess it's all the all those little things that they get a little quick fix instead of something that actually might be more helpful. So, and that's why there will be like a whole new men's range now. So you have to come down, mate, and
I'd love an invite.
Get down
Just like
there.
I invited you today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You invited me?
I invited you.
You did? Yeah. But yeah, no, we're going to have a whole men's range now, men's menu, if you will, to pretty much doing the same things that men may need that women get done as well. So, and hopefully get a lot more guys through the door taking care of himself, mate. So I might jump in there and just do some demos to help this face up. It might help in a couple of years if I look a bit fresher.
Anything to help my face for camera, I'll take the opportunity.
That's why I have facial hair all the time, mate. It's just cover up what's really there.
Can you grow a beard?
Yeah, I just like
full thick beard.
Nah. I've never really tried because it gets real patchy around here. So patches of houlihan. So I just sort of that's why I kept the goatee for so long. But the mo might stick around just on its own.
Never had that problem. Talk to me about Top Deck.
Top Deck. Well, pretty much AJ and myself have done some videos together, which you've enjoyed.
I've loved.
And we get a lot of good feedback from, and we enjoy doing those things together. So we thought we'd just start up a little business. It's slowly building now. Got a couple of bites. We did a great one with Milk Lab, which was great reaction. But it's not just for us. It's more going to help other players, try and earn some cash off the field, reach out to brands that may see fit to them. Like at the moment, we've got Sean Kepi and Hosty who are reaching out to a gaming one.
Nice.
So we can try and do some content around that because that's what they enjoy.
Yep.
But also talking to the younger boys that we don't want them to just put up a standard photo and say, thanks ASICS for the boots or something like that. Try and make it a bit more creative and just better for them, better for the brand, better for the content, better for everyone. So that's the idea around it. And I know you love yours. So no doubt, which we've spoken about, we will be collaborating together, which I can't wait for. And it will be around dads, I think, the way we're going.
Wait.
So it should be good.
I can't wait. Just with that as well, like it comes down to obviously budget, effort, because like you're in the game. Like footballers just want to focus about rugby league, training hard, their recovery. So how are you going to kind of maneuver away and get players to actually put in effort in producing content? And I should say as well, like people are scared of perception, players especially. So a lot of players are scared to put themselves out there.
Yeah, and I think what you've done so well is be happy to be laughed at, and because you find it funny, it's funny. You know what I mean? Like if you find it funny, then other people are going to find it funny.
Don't have to take yourself too seriously.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's like if you look at the Milk Lab one, I'm gagged to a chair naked with a Christmas ball taped to my mouth. So like,
please watch it, everyone.
Can't put myself on the. There I am. I still remember Willow was sitting there watching that part. Like we thought she was going to be an actress one day, but she's like, I still want to do acting, but not what Dad does.
Also, we haven't got the bread line through that job.
No, not yet. She's showing potential there, but yeah, not acting where I can't even finish that because you know where it's going. Let's move on from that. Let's go the wrong way.
Let's do some true or false, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Not putting you as a hooker in 2014 grand final cost the Bulldogs a game. True or false?
Oh, wow.
We actually played you when I was at Penrith. We played you guys the week before. You guys got the last laugh in that game, 18-12.
That was no. I think it was the right. You look back now, right option where I'd played 2 games that year, not massive minutes. 1 game, big minutes. The other one, not much. I think 13 minutes.
The reason I say that was because I think Desi went and opted to go with Moses Mbai, who's
he'd played a lot of footy in a lot of different positions that year. Played centre, played half, played a little bit of hooker, I think, as well. So that made more sense going into a grand final. You're thinking combinations that he'd naturally have there. Moses was in and out of that side all year, so I think it was the right decision.
Can I respectfully disagree? Not because you're here, but just because you're looking at South Sydney that year, the biggest thing they relied on was their power game. And they had big boppers. You had Sam, you had Dave Tyrrell doing an amazing job, you had Ben Teo. You had the outside backs who were doing a massive amount of work coming out of yards, especially. And I know for a fact those guys will probably, no disrespect to Moses, but they'll be looking at a guy like that and want to kind of spot him out easier. If that makes sense?
Possibly. Also, the way the Bulldogs were playing at the time was a lot of, off the halves and front rowers. So in a grand final, having myself come in there with a more running thought process may have just could have been good.
Yeah.
It could have caused some, just
disruption
in their game plan.
It would have affected James Graham because he obviously loved getting a first receiver, dishing it on.
Yeah. He wouldn't even let me pass him the ball at training if I wasn't playing that week.
What was he like play with?
He's very interesting. And I got him when I was young, so I wish I got him like now, like to really enjoy it.
I've heard this.
I was very almost intimidated, but at the same time, he's one who used to give me boots. Like, so he had a great rebel. He had a rebel deal. How cool is that? Like,
that's good.
Pretty much pick and choose, and he chose Umbro.
Funny that. Any interesting stories?
There's better boots at SHOEGRAB. They don't do boots.
No, they should, bud. Jay?
They could do boots.
You never know.
That'd be good.
Any interesting stories pop out about James Graham?
No, I just remember him telling me, I went to pass him the ball one time. We're just doing forwards drills. He's like, no, I can't pass me the ball. I need to get my timing right, like Leisha. So every time I do, let Leisha pass him the ball.
Can you say that again?
Got to get my timing right. It's like when we talk about Tom. We noticed yesterday a few of us were talking about Tom Burgess, and whenever we talk what Tom says, we go to his Pommy accent.
What was the thing you used to always say? We used to always take the Mickey out of him. Oh,
full stop.
No.
He was in full swing at army camp too. He was great.
But you know what was best? Like we'd come in the huddle after training session, we'd just have a bit of a debrief, and then Tommy used to put his 2 cents in, and then Cody was just like, "Here we go again."
That's why we called him full stop, because he was the last thing. And he was so good at pointing out the obvious. I love when he stands up and gives a demo. I come in with Tommy most mornings. You had a bad sleep, a bad night, shit day or you're in a bad mood when you wake up. You get out of the car with Tommy, you're bouncing around. You are happy.
You got a kick in your step.
I love him. I could watch him all day, and I could spend all day with him.
I used to remember video sessions. Oh God, so funny. And because he sits at the front, he used to so passionately and great intentions. I know he means well, and he's obviously stating what everyone can see, and at the back he's just.
It happened at camp, so then we even the instructors sometimes were laughing in the background. We got to a point, so then every time he spoke after the first day, we just applauded it, well fucking said. Well said. I just clapped every time he spoke.
Love that too. We can thank him for cutting our army camp short that year.
Yeah, was
when it was at Taree.
Yep.
Did he end up getting COVID?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, so he actually had it.
AJ, Hosty, and myself had to go lockdown though. Remember we got out Christmas Eve. We had to go do our test. That's when we made up fake flight details at the airport. We had our passports, made up a fake flight to New Zealand, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we had to go in there and so we get the results back in an hour instead of waiting until Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And I still remember Hosty and myself, we went in, they checked our license, said, yeah, sweet, off you go. There's your test done. But then we turned around where's AJ? And AJ's like in there like the stress on his face, and like two people looking at him and like ask for his license. They're running away like they're like, this guy's like got no flight. AJ thought he was going to get arrested, I reckon. It was a funny day.
I love that. Oh, good times. What a weird time.
Yeah.
What a weird time. True or false? Jack Whiten is the difference for South Sydney winning a premiership next year. This year.
Part of the difference, yes. Yeah.
So you reckon it's something you guys are missing out on?
Yeah, definitely.
What does he bring? What does he bring?
He's just a footballer. Like, I know he's been a little bit injured at the moment, but even his first few sessions, like, he just pops up on the field everywhere. He takes opportunities. He commits to everything and competes. And I think that's just going to be, it's going to inspire the team at, in tough times. Yardage carries, he's not going to shy away from that. Any hard work. He's a big body. I can't believe I've known Jack for a while now, but like seeing him every day and just standing side by side, how big he actually is. So like he's
tall-wise or just
tall? Yeah, tall, rangy.
He's always just had that Mong strength about him.
We didn't even go through the top 5, but he'd be another one in there, I reckon. Like
just
athletic,
deceptive,
fast.
strength.
Yeah.
Is he going to be playing centre this year? You think?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You'll go on to coach in the NRL one day. True or false?
False.
Why false? That was quick.
I think I like the idea of the high performance side of things. I think I wouldn't mind floating into sort of the skills sort of stuff and helping out where I can. Like
specialist coach?
Yeah, but not so much an assistant coach or head coach.
Volatile.
Yeah, and it's full on. I think you're going to want to do that job, assistant coach, definitely, and head coach. Like just even watching JD now, just when you sit back when you're older and just watch everything that he does and all the prep he does, like there must be a lot going on.
I don't know how you juggle that, especially with having a family.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's got a good family that all support that. So, but now he's had to bide his time for a long time now.
Speaking of sports scientists, what does that entail? Because obviously it's a name tag, it's a job description, but no one really knows what that entails. So how would you describe it?
Oh, that's a big question.
And why is it so important?
What is it? And at the moment, I'll answer it a different way. Like at the moment, there's times when we lean towards sports science too much.
I agree.
And not going back on just the human body, that everyone's individual and sometimes people need individual needs. So, and not everyone's going to be feeling the same. So you got to be able to adapt to everyone individually and what they do. So everyone can't do the same weights program. Everyone can't do the same running, not just because of positional, like different positions on the field, but what they need. And everyone's going to have their own sort of injuries. So I think being able to understand each individual and what they need to be performing at their best each week. And I think Souths have upgraded again this year. We've got someone like who does recovery. We've got someone who obviously got Crowley looks after the high performance. We've got Jack in the gym who's the amount of stuff that goes through his head makes me realise how much I've still got to learn in that space of I watch everyone walk up to him in the gym, and even me, I'll walk up and ask him a question and he knows the answer for me straight away. And then someone else will walk up for a different program completely and he knows the answer straight away, or a variation or what weight they should be doing. So I think for someone in the sports science area, he's nailing that strength part of it really well. So everyone's individual, but not going completely into sports science and just going off data. But someone like Harry Harris was great at understanding how someone was actually feeling. If you gave yourself the training and trained really hard, Harry knew how to pull you back and what you needed to do, and at the same time push those ones along that just need a bit of a nudge. So I think, definitely very individual based in a team environment, which would be hard to do.
I like that a lot. Moving on to our next segment. Okay, so
I had your producers wrapping me up, eh? Like that.
That was great. That's the answer I wanted. So Burto was on the show last week, and that envelope in front of you, he wrote you a question and for you to answer. So
thank you, Matthew.
Best of luck. Could be anything because he copped an absolute perler last week, and his answer actually.
What's Burto like? Is he
very reserved, introverted.
I know, like, I've spent some time around, but I just
great fella.
Wonder what this
loves
question.
fishing. In case everyone was wondering.
Trying to get Troll Mitt to take us fishing soon, but he hasn't yet.
You're allowed to read it out.
Hey?
Can you read
Yeah,
it?
no, I was
Do you know how to read?
yes.
Okay.
If you were to travel anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Love that.
Yes.
Have you done much traveling?
I have. I think one thing Courtney and myself did before kids was we tried to travel every off season. So been overseas a couple of times to Europe, England, to Dubai.
I'm going to Dubai.
Yeah.
Booked our first family holiday.
I'm going. Oh yeah, you told me that the other day.
Yeah.
I'm
That
doing
was one thing I kind of really like, got a lot of FOMO out of, like
Yeah.
people going to Europe, Dubai, countries like in the middle of the year, like
Yeah.
during the summer. Obviously don't have that opportunity when we're
Yeah.
playing, but now I do.
Well, I think that would be off the back of that is the people that travel in the middle of the year when they get to go over to like the Greek islands
Oh,
at the right time. You know, when we've had to travel, we've still got great weather when we've gone over there to like Italy and stuff like that. But I think being able to do a Europe trip, especially the Greek islands, I haven't been to Greece, but during the right time would be pretty awesome. I think that's just very me. The water, love the food.
how do you go with the sun?
I've got to be protected. I've got to be I've got to sun's safe, mate. It's nothing healthy about a tan.
Slip, top, slap.
Right. So it'd definitely be Greece at the Greek islands at the right time of the year.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been lucky enough to do a bit of travel, which I'm happy about because people that went, the young boys at the moment who went through COVID couldn't travel anywhere, and now they're starting to have kids have sort of almost missed that opportunity. So
that boat sailed.
I'm very lucky I got to do that. Mario's meant to be taking me to Lebanon after I've been with him for 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
So I'm still waiting for that to happen.
You would love Lebanon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super nightclubs? Is that good?
Super nightclubs.
Over there?
It's got the biggest bar in the world in Beirut. So rooftop bar actually.
Oh.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And then-
Pearl of the Middle East, brother.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
There it is. I like the idea of going to the beach and then skiing in the same day. Is that true? Is that
That's
what you
true,
can-
yeah. So you go to the
That'd be
beach in the
pretty-
morning. It's old saying, swim in the morning, ski in the afternoon, party all night.
There you go.
You like that?
That's good.
Not that you party, but
Oh, sorry,
or
can't be a dad anymore. Anyway.
first bloke to have kids. Now you got the opportunity to write a question for our next guest next week. Go for it.
Oh, you want me to do it now?
Yeah, right now. Happy with it?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Bit of
That doesn't sound convincing.
bit of a hard one to think of just off on the spot. I haven't gone too deep, but like when you think about this one, when it's said, like it might be funny now, might be easy. Sorry, it might be easy now, but then later in life it might be,
Ooh.
hard.
Ooh. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
Can you not stare in my eyes while you just lick that envelope like that? Very confronting. I've loved this. I love this show so far.
It's been great.
We should catch up more often.
Well, you keep paying me, I'll keep turning up.
So what's next, mate? What do you got coming up?
What's next? It's all about to get busy for us, I guess, in a good way. This is what we, all the hard training's done for now. But like once the season gets going, the best part of the year, mate. So we've got a few more weeks, and then it all kicks off with footy, and then everything else the kids do during the week. So it gets very busy, but I like that. It's good.
And where do you see yourself in 2024?
2024.
See yourself some goals?
Normally I do that every year, set a lot of goals, and I have.
You write them down, or you just
Yeah, like write them down on my phone. I still have all like the last few years in there. A lot of them are very similar. Sitting back a little bit more and just gonna enjoy it for what it is this year.
Love that.
There's goals that they're cliche ones, so I'm just gonna get out there and get it done.
Nothing wrong with that, mate.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. Always good to see you. It's always a pleasure.
Great to see you too, mate.
Let's go get a coffee, eh?
Yeah, still.
Done.